Mr. Zebley, roll call, please.
Mrs. Denny,
Here.
Mrs. Ellis, Mrs. Essler,
Here.
Mrs. Jones,
Here.
Mr. Mancinelli,
Here.
Mrs. Powell,
Here.
Mr. Cisak,
Here.
Mr. Tinsley,
Here.
Mr. Arnold.
Here. 2.01 is the approval of minutes. Motion is to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting, March 23rd, 2022, and the special board meeting, April 20th, 2022. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.02 is the invoice listing. Motion is to approve the invoice listing from March through April of 2022. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.03 is the treasurer's report. Ms. Pennell.
As of February 28th, 2022, Pendelco's balance was $40,449,268. During March 2022, local, state, and federal revenues totaled $3,732,514. Disbursements were issued in the amount of $6,545,367. As of March 31st, 2022, Pendelco's current balance is $37,636,416. The motion is to approve the treasurer's report for March 2022. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.04 is the budget transfer report. Motion is to approve the budget transfer report for March through April of 2022. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3 on tonight's agenda is the student representative's report to board. Ms. Ellis and Ms. Esposito.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me here again. It's always a pleasure. Here are some of the important things that I have to discuss with you all today. First things first, AP testing will begin next week on Monday, May 2nd, and will end around May 13th the following week. Keystone testing will also begin soon. They will start on May 11th and will be running testing and makeup days until the 27th of May. The 4th marking period has finally started and this school year is nearing its end. It has been a very eventful year for Sun Valley students, and I'm sure everyone is anxiously awaiting for summer to begin. Students should still be making sure to keep up with their work and grades so that they can finish strong this school year. The freshman and sophomore dance is this Friday, April 29th, and again, only freshmen and sophomores will be able to attend this particular dance. The freshman class trip is also coming up at Dorney Park, so any freshmen wishing to attend the field trip should be keeping up with their schoolwork to make sure that they will be able to. The Sun Valley Band and Chorus just recently had their concerts, and it was known to be a very nice program, and all of their hard work was finally paid off. Lastly, the junior prom is April 1st at the Camden Aquarium. As president of the junior class and someone who attended, I can promise you that everyone had a wonderful time and it was a great success. It was wonderful to finally make use of the Camden Aquarium location as it was passed on to our junior class by the class of 2020. That is all I have for you today. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. As you can tell by my attire, spring sports seasons are well underway. This past Saturday, with the help of the Sun Valley National Honor Society, boys and girls lacrosse teams were able to hold their annual Headstrong Games, which due to COVID haven't happened since 2019. The NHS sold t-shirts and laces to teams before the games, and they also held a concession stand during the games, and all proceeds were donated to the Headstrong Foundation. Both of our Sun Valley teams won, and I may have even scored my first career goal. The rest of our spring sports are going very well. The baseball, softball, lacrosse, track, and boys tennis teams are all looking much better than we've seen in past years, and many of them are looking to make it to the playoffs. I hope to have more information on that by the next meeting. Today, Sun Valley also held its first mock crash since 2019. The students witnessed a live reenactment of a car crash caused by drunk driving and the emergency procedures that take place afterwards. The event was followed by an assembly with a guest speaker who had experienced a life-altering accident. He was able to stay for a question and answer session in hopes to prevent any of our Sun Valley students from making the same decisions he had. The mock crash showed students that these events do indeed take place and they happen to people that we know. The display and assembly was a very big awakening for our students. Also, Sophie and I, along with the rest of the National Honor Society cabinet, were lucky enough to meet with Principal Roscoe's in his early weeks at the Valley. He asked us our opinions on culture questions here at Sun Valley, as well as more academic and procedural topics. And we can already see some changes being made, especially in the push to have every student to class on time. and we can't wait to see what the future brings for Sun Valley and Mr. Roscoe's. Finally, senior prom is May 13th at the DuPont Country Club. This means that eligibility will be ran on May 6th, and any student failing 2 or more classes at that point will be unable to attend. So no senioritis. Not long after prom will be the senior class trip to Disney World. Again, this event has not taken place since 2019, and any student attending must attend the mandatory parent-student meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the CAF. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Ms. Powell, do you have a report?
No report this month, unfortunately.
Number 4, Dr. Steinhoff, the superintendent.
Good evening, everybody. Hard to believe we are at the April board meeting. Feels like the start of this post-COVID year was not that long ago. But we are very much in the thick of an exciting time of the year, as you can hear from Sophia and Gianna's summary of what's been happening in Sun Valley. Tonight, I would like to point out that on our agenda, we will be asking the board to approve the initial proposed 2022-2023 budget. This is a continued iteration on the processes of the budget development that began back in the fall, of course. And last Wednesday, I want to thank the board for participating in what was a long, extended discussion about the complex nature of our budget. Key points, we continue to have to fight an uphill battle of having limited revenue and a challenge of ensuring that the students in our schools and our community don't receive anything but the very best type of education that we can provide. Pendelco's revenue per pupil is $3,300 less than the county average. And as a result of that, we have to spend, on average, $3,800 less on our expenses per pupil. So we run a very tight ship, but we take pride in the fact that our students don't miss out, that our students are still able to have an exceptional education, to get them ready for life, and to have them participate in all the functions that we want to have them provide, in all the outstanding facilities that we offer, and ensure that we pay fair and adequate compensation for our employees as well, so that we can attract and retain key, really essential instructional employees. They are the challenges that we have always had to work through, and they continue to be there as well. On top of that, there are some particular stressors that we have to navigate. I'm going to allow Mr. Zebley to provide just kind of a quick current status summary on some of those key points that he mentioned last week relative to the development of our budget.
Sure. As Dr. Steinhoff mentioned, the proposed final budget was proposed at last week's study session. It was developed with a millage rate of 18.2593, which is a 3.95% increase over the prior year. Total budgeted revenues in this proposed budget is $67.47 million. Total budgeted expenditures is $69.39 million. That's a net deficit of $1.93 million. The most significant changes in this budget versus the prior year budget was the growth in mandated costs. We saw an increase in the employer pension contributions, special ed IU programs, and charter school tuition. Those total mandated costs growth equated to $884,000 increase over the prior year. Board approval tonight will allow the district to make the proposed final budget available for public inspection on the PE prescribed form. As mentioned, and administration will continue to put forth any significant budgetary changes to the board for consideration for the final budget approval in June.
Thank you. So we recommend that approval, recognizing that there's still a good bit of work to be done in the budget cycle. We're waiting for some updated revenue projections and some pure numbers that we'll get once the state budget is approved as well. And we're continuing to fine-tune our expenses and cut costs where we can cut them without impacting the experience of our students. On the agenda tonight, there's also a recommendation to approve an agreement with Intrado, which is the parent company of School Messenger. Earlier in the year, I discussed the fact that our contract with Blackboard, which is our web hosting company, would be expiring at the end of this year. And I felt that there were some areas of improvement that we could find within our portfolio of communication tools. The Untitled School Messenger program will enable us to utilize an attendance add-on so parents can submit call-outs more efficiently and schools can recognize when those calls are made. It'll provide access to a web app. It'll provide an improved streamlined text messaging and voice messaging system as well. So I was pleased to share with you some details on that last week. We've indicated to the community we wanted to see some improvements there, and this is our efforts to find a product that has a little, we believe, is a little bit more of an all-in-one, seamless, easy-to-use solution that will help parents on the receiving end of messaging from schools. Tonight we're recommending Mrs. Monica Quinn be appointed as the elementary special education supervisor. So our supervisors in special education in the past, the supervisors were assigned special duties that might span the K-12 area. We now recognize at the recommendation of Regina McClure that we will have a specialist at the elementary level and a specialist at the secondary level to make sure that parents have an easier stream of contact. So we're looking forward to having Ms. Monica Quinn come on board as the elementary special education supervisor. She'll be replacing Ms. Amy Bell, who is retiring at the end of the year after a fantastic career. Pleased that we have had fairly significant interest in the dual enrollment opportunity that we talked to the board several months ago about, the carpentry, electrical, and HVAC programs in our partnership with Delaware County Community College. There is a video for reference. A presentation was held last week for interested parents and students. That presentation deck is available online. We also encourage people always to contact our school counselors for more information on this wonderful opportunity as we expand dual enrollment capacity at the high school. I want to highlight what was a terrific career day, a really great regular event that was occurring. Northland Middle School has always done a wonderful job with career day, and it's great to see some of these traditions coming back as we get out of the COVID period. We had 14 professionals presenting virtually. Zoom visitors spoke with 3 classrooms of students about the professional journey. You see some of the careers there: Director of Agricultural Research, Director of Respiratory Care, Forest Resources, K-9 Police Officer, Development Officer for the Red Cross. This Volunteer America, who's an executive in a financial services firm and a children's book author, also made a personal appearance at our career cafe. It was just a great day in Pendelco. It was the day before break, and we saw these wonderful things happening really throughout the district, in our elementary and our secondary schools for sure. It was a wonderful day. It's just good to see kids get back to normal. Today, as the student reps mentioned, mock crash was held. It's a very solemn, serious event. Kids, it can bring tears to the eyes. Kids who actually see what can happen when you're driving under the influence, when you're not engaging in distracted driving, text messaging, and not paying attention. And it's a great community partnership. So, the feedback that I got from everyone who isn't traditionally involved in Sun Valley is you have some really superior, wonderful kids at this school. Exceptionally well-mannered, exceptionally considerate, and really taking seriously the lessons that were offered to them today. Talk about, how can we make sure we get kids ready for life? These are the kind of, even though they're difficult, memorable events that we will make sure our kids have access to. Rather than spending the time really perseverating over test prep. And we want to make sure kids are ready for life, and we want to make sure that kids' safety is really the most important piece. And here's some pictures on the right that shows you how it happened. We staged a demonstration to show the impact of a fatal accident. The whole program is funded by State Farm, supported by Mainline Health. There's an enactment that's followed by personal testimony from an accident victim. A lot of people involved: Officer Coyle, Hedgerow Theater, Aston Township Police and Fire, the funeral home, Bryn Mawr Rehab, State Representative Leanne Kruger's office, entire Sun Valley administration and staff involved, really in making sure that this is just a great event for students. So it's a difficult event, but it's one really that's highly important for them to see, and they recognize the seriousness of what could actually happen in a real life accident. Every month we recognize really different schools, different individuals who have, deserve some special kudos. This seems to be the Pennell Elementary month, and good for them. Miss Cardwell, first grade teacher there, recognized as the Phillies 10 All-Star Teacher of 2022. Really pleased she was nominated by one of our parents. She will be on Citizens Bank Field on Friday, May 6th. Coincidentally, they also are scheduled to have a visit by the Phillies Fanatic on May 12th, which will be wonderful for the kids. Really proud of Miss Ashley Morano, one of our paraeducators. She received the Making a Difference Award, and she was recognized and nominated by interim principal Dr. Murray when she was there. Congratulations to Ashley, who received this award, honoring adults who have demonstrated extraordinary efforts in working to promote acceptance and understanding, ensuring the inclusion of all children of all abilities. And one of our paraprofessionals in our autistic support classroom at Pennell was recognized for that special award. Mayor Pendelco proud of her. And then I was pleased to go over there and announce over the PA that physical education teacher Mr. Wayne Lutterati was recognized as Teacher of the Year by the Southeastern Pennsylvania SHAPE Group. That is the Society of Health Physical Educators. And I believe it's May 5th, he will be recognized as an exceptional Teacher of the Year in the area of physical education. And students who have had him as his teacher would absolutely agree. I find Wayne to be, he's a understated, quiet gentleman, but when he gets in front of the classroom, he's anything but that. He's energetic and has so much love for the work and passion for the work. Couldn't be more thrilled that one of our staff members were recognized for outstanding work in that field. A lot of action around Earth Day, which is always very popular with our students. We had some service activities. Sun Valley softball team was involved in a regional cleanup day. Parkside Environmental Club, Nature Walk. Aspen students are always out sprucing up their curb appeal. They always put a flower bed out, typically around that time of the year. It was just a wonderful day to get students out involved, engaged in real life activities. STEM, big focus of us across the district, right? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. We sent 8 teams to the 2022 DCIU competition. There was a challenge topic around infrastructure. Students were asked to create strategies that would improve systems leading towards a safer and a healthier world. They spent days engineering ways to improve the world around that topic of infrastructure. We're particularly Pendelco proud of our group of winners from Coburn Elementary and teacher Vivian Cameron. You'll see here the pictures from the DCIU, third place trophy for best overall project, and students won an award for best blueprint. So really nice to see that as they stand out in the county. This is the month where we celebrate our concerts and creations, meaning our artwork as well as our musical concerts. I was proud to be at the Sun Valley concert last week where we opened up our newly renovated auditorium for the first time. This is great to have students doing live performances again to live audiences. And we are really thrilled that all of our schools will be back in action with in-person concerts and in-person art opportunities throughout this particular month of May and even some dates in April. Here's some shots, and I want to thank Lisa Pomerini for putting these together for me on this slide. You know, what are we Pendelco proud of? Our faculty. And I mention this because we will very soon be recognizing Staff Appreciation Week. And I just want to, here's some images. We always show you pictures of our staff teaching, but recognize what our staff are willing to do for our students. And on the day before spring break, when there was a fundraiser event and a pep rally up at the high school, you know, what I witnessed were teachers that were willing to do what they need to do to make sure kids are enjoying school. And they stepped up and they're saying, you know what, for this challenge, if you need to pie me, go ahead and pie me. But you know, you can't lie about pictures. And these are great kids, these are great staff that will do what it takes to deliver exceptional instruction, but also do what it takes to be a serious mentor and just, you know, a kind gentleman and a kind woman who's going to be there to make sure that school was as fun as it possibly could be. And that's what we saw. It was great to see. And I wanted to just point out all the extra things that our staff do for students all the time, every day in Pendelco. So thank you for the opportunity to provide some updates today.
Thank you, Dr. Stein. Announcements for the public. Tonight, the board met in executive session to discuss personnel and litigation matters. Any comments by members of the board? I'd like to start by saying, going Pendelco proud. We're welcoming 3 new principals to our school. We've hired a new director of HR. I think that speaks volumes to the district we run and have. There's some districts out there who have had administrators leave. Ours left us for no other reason than life-changing events. But other districts run through and don't even have applicants. We were fortunate enough to have suitable applicants and extraordinary applicants for all 4 of those jobs. That sometimes can be very, very hard to fill, especially the director of HR job, and as well as our new director of special education at the elementary level. So I think that speaks volumes to what we have here in Pendelco. We're a desired place to be by some of the peers, teachers out in the world, and administrators, and it doesn't seem that we have a whole lot of problems filling jobs. There are a few outliers out there that every district has trouble filling, maybe business class or something of that nature. But for the most part, we're able to fill our jobs as they come available. Anything else?
I welcome John to our team, and as well as Tracy to grab your name tag after out of the storage. So I want to welcome you both, whether it's for short term or to our team.
Items for board information and discussion. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, I just wanted to officially welcome John Mancinelli. For those, we don't have a smaller crowd than we have in the last 2 years. Unfortunately, John, you could have had a full house here a couple months ago. And, we're not going to make you go around and give your bio, but, I'm glad, I've known John a little bit through his work at Aston Valley Baseball, and just, a volunteer that really just, I think he'll do a great job and has the, the heart of every student in mind when he serves here. So welcome, John. Look forward to working with you.
Items for board information, seeing none. Any comments by members of the public? Seeing none. Agenda starts on page 2, item 10, carries through 3, 4, 5, and ends on page 6. References the Pendelco budget 2021 through 2022, Act 93 plan, PDEA agreement, the PDESPA agreement, the PDSSPA agreement, and the PA School Code section 110BB. It is the administrative recommendation to approve all personnel items as presented. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Tonight we're going to execute a consent agenda. We are going to pull item 10.17. That'll be tabled until next month. Some board members have requested a little bit of time to just review the contract that they hadn't seen before tonight. So for no other reason than just a review by the board members. So with that, I need a motion to approve items 10.03 through 10.16. Please note that all solicitation of bids must be reviewed by the solicitor's office. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any comments by members of the public? Any additional comments by members of the board?
I too want to welcome Mr. Mancinelli to the board. We had a chance to talk at length yesterday doing a quick orientation, and I know board members remember what that's like. You come in for the first meeting and you leave with piles and piles of materials. But it's been a wonderful leader in the community, father of students in our district. His wife is very involved in one of our PTLs as well. So, from on behalf of the administrators and employees, welcome to the Pendelco School Board of Education.
Future meetings are Wednesday, May 18th for the study session here at 7:30, and then Wednesday, May 25th for our normal business meeting at 7:30. Motion adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Thank you, everyone.